Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac Show. I said the Cognac.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist Cognac Wellerlane, and welcome back to Cognac's Corner. In another moment, we will be watching another fabulous video. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and always press the notification button to let you know when I will be publishing a new video. And also, darlings, don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my videos and what other type of videos you'd like me to make. Let's get to the video. Pink champagne kisses. Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist Cognac Wellerlane, and we are in Westhampton Beach for a very, very important fundraiser. It's for Project Genesis, and I am here with this rabbi who's going to explain what this is really all about. It's to support Israel and the living conditions that the Israelis are living under. Introduce yourself, darling.
I'm Rabbi Gadi Capella. I'm the rabbi of Congregation Tiferet Israel in Greenport, New York, and also one of the founders of Project Genesis Interfaith with Father Roy Taverdig and Dr. Don Russo. And for 20 years, nearly 20 years now, we have been doing interfaith dialogues here and in Israel, and been leading groups of Christians and Jews to the Holy Land, and proposed a few times a peace proposal that has to do with the religions. We believe that in the Middle East, eventually, things will solve themselves only if the religions are going to have a dialogue. And that's what we've been doing.
We all are praying. We're all praying for Israel. I pray every day. So tell us the process of what you're trying to do to get relief from these people. Tell us what's going on.
So in the past year, I went back to school to finish a master's. I started 10 years ago, and I took the classes at Columbia, and I found myself during October 7th at Columbia on campus when people were shouting that we're all foreign colonialists in the land and we don't have any roots in the land. And
What?
yep, believe it or not. And my family never left the Middle East. I am, as they say, brown indigenous. My parents walked through the desert from Yemen to arrive Israel in 1951, when there was this big swap of populations, when 750,000 Arabs left the land because of the war, and nearly 1 million Jews had to leave their homes in Arab countries, including my parents. So I was born, of course, in Israel, and then moved to New York in '95, and I really got to know that in America, the perception is that Jews equal white. Jews are white. And even though they present white, maybe complexion, that doesn't mean that they are not originally from the Middle East as well. You know, our religion is Middle Eastern, is native, indigenous. Even Christianity was born in the Middle East.
I'm not exactly from the Middle East. I'm from Sicily. That's pretty close.
It's pretty close, but there are half of the Jews who live in Israel, and this is why we gathered today. We're working on a film to present at Columbia at the end of in the end of the year.
To the filmmaker, maybe he's going to work on that with you.
He is our director. He came here as our director. He's going to be working with us on the film. We filmed the first part in Israel a couple weeks ago. We had a big event of nearly 300 people, and we interviewed three generations of Jews of the Middle East, mainly Yemenite Jews, and my family. And we're going to present it at Columbia first, and then in other campuses, and create a feature film called "We Are From Here."
It's very nice.
Yes.
I love the title.
Yes, and the subtitle is "The White Lie About the Indigenous Jews." That we're not really white, even if we present white complexion. But the issue is right now, and this is what I found out this past year on campus, that all the students who are shouting from the river to the sea and that we should go back to Europe totally ignore the fact that more than half of the Jews who live in Israel today never left the Middle East. They are indigenous and they are the brown Jews. But in America, when the perception is solely that Jews are white, it's very easy to jump from that to apartheid, to say that Jews, the white race, came to the Middle East and are subjugating the brown race. And this is what we're here to change that perception, the incorrect.
Are they just lying? Is it just are these are just lies, propaganda lies?
Some of them are lies, and some of them are just ignorance. I think it's
I
the
think that some of these people that are protesting, they don't even know what they're protesting about. They're just like, oh, let's just do this. This is the thing to do now. We need to protest. Am I right about that?
I admire their will to be just, but I think it's misdirected because they really
They're
don't know.
being misinformed.
Exactly. They are misinformed or non informed at all. So, my professor actually, after one of the big demonstrations outside, asked me to speak to the class that I was taking. And it was a class about immigrant New York and people from all over the world in a graduate level, and to speak about my family that came from the Middle East. And she said that one of the sentences that I said was that I wish somebody told my parents when they were walking through the Arabian desert that they were foreign oppressors and colonialists. So, and I realized that the classmates just didn't know. They didn't know anything about Jews originating from the Middle East. And even if they thought,
What? How could they not know that?
this is the problem when you don't educate people. And I was
But people, I mean, I went to Catholic. I'm Sicilian. I'm Italian. You know, I'm Catholic. So I went to Catholic school. That was the first thing I was taught. I was taught, the Bible. Everything is from the Middle East. The Jews came from Israel, but they originally didn't come from Israel. Israel took them a long time to have their own country. So I was taught that.
right. But when the new generation is not taught that, and the new generation doesn't go to church, doesn't go to any length of trying to
Not
explore.
believe that they're not teaching children this. They are not teaching children this in the schools.
No. And really, people in America really are convinced that Jews are all white. And that really is when Jews came from Europe and they were persecuted for centuries for not being white enough, right? I mean, Hitler's
Can't win.
they can't win. Sometimes they're too white, not too white. So that's why we just need to be ourselves. And we're Semite. We're not white. We're not black. We are Semite. We're kind of in the middle, if you
Tan very easily.
will. Definitely. So when Jews came from Europe after being persecuted for centuries for not being white enough, they came to America, and in this paradigm of black or white, they found themselves wanting to be, of course, white. They're not black, but they really succeeded very well in integrating and assimilating to the degree that today everybody thinks that Jews in America, but everywhere, are white.
So Project Genesis is bringing awareness about all of this. Where can we go to find out more information about Project Genesis?
So Project Genesis website is project-genesis.org. .org.
It's .org.
It's .org. We are a non-for-profit 501c3, and that's why we're here fundraising. The first part of this project started many years ago when we have been taking the groups to Israel, the Jewish and Christian groups, and we've been working with Muslim groups in Israel to create a peace proposal that really details how we can share holy sites. It's not a political peace proposal.
You are the founder. You're the founder of ProjectGenesis.org.
Right.
Project-Genesis.org.
Right.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you have an Instagram page as well?
I don't manage my media. We have people that,
Do you have one?
but I have, yes. If you just
You personally do not, Rabbi, you do not have your own Instagram page.
I have a Facebook page,
Tell me your Instagram.
and it's
Spell your name.
Gadi, Gadi, Capella, Capela. That everybody came from the city, the Hamptons, the North Fork, and thank you very much for Beverly and Ken for this beautiful hosting and delicious food and conversation. So I'm going to tell you the story of why are we here, why are we gathered, and I feel like, of course, I'm among friends and family here. They go very, very long at this point. So I'm going to start with Project Genesis. Project Genesis is an organization that I co-founded with Father Roy and Dr. Don Russo. Father Roy asked me in 2006, when I was still in the corporate world, to lead a model Seder with him. Those who know the story, I freaked out, but I did it, and that resulted in 20 years of teaching and taking pilgrimages to the Holy Land of Jews and Christians. In the midst of it, I quit my job, I went to rabbinical school, and I've been now the rabbi in Greenport for the past 12 years, inspired by a Catholic priest. This was the first layer of why we're here. In the past, about 7-8 years, when we were taking the groups to Israel, we also worked on a peace proposal because we saw that in the Middle East, of course, myself being born in Israel and moving to New York at age 22, I was very frustrated. The peace chances in the Middle East and really didn't know where to begin. So I've been unpacking the situation personally and religiously for a long time, and we all agreed that in the Middle East, the issue, just like when we say in America, every election they say it's about the economy.
Here it is.
You complete the sentence. In Israel, it's about religion. It doesn't matter what happens in the world, it affects all of us. Our purpose today is to educate and to show that the connection to the land of Israel didn't start just in 1948, but it really has, of course, 4,000 years of history. But at times when we are blamed to be taking somebody else's land, this is a lot more complicated than that. Many of us don't present a white or white American story, but a different from many of our Ashkenazi friends. So how are we categorized by anti-Israel protesters? People that call Israel a white colonized land, we have to recognize that there's another side to that. The misguided premise of the anti-Israel message also created an American public perception that is firmly set on Jews being white Europeans.
Jews were in Babylonia, in modern-day Iraq, 2,500 years ago, long before Arabs ever left Arabia, long before Islam developed, long before Christianity. That doesn't have to mean anything except that it's a fact. And what do you do with these facts? It was never a point at which Jews were not in the land of Israel. What do we do as we pursue the truth and justice and a desire to live in peace?
Who are the Jewish people? What is the Jewish people's connection to Israel? Yes, we have these different geographical locations, but we're one people who have been scattered.
What gives you hope?
Being together, and I see this amazing unity.
Of course, we are 15 million people in the world, the Jewish people, and there are many more those who criticize us. But I think there's a way to amplify also our messages through other means, and this is one of the means to amplify it.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here in Westhampton Beach. And this is a very important event that we're here. It's for Project Genesis. It's all to help Israel and the people that are suffering under the war conditions. And I'm here with a filmmaker, and he's a big supporter of Project Genesis. Introduce yourself to the camera.
My name is Yaniv Rokah. I'm originally from Israel. I've lived in the States for the past 25 years. Been making documentary films about social justice mostly. And you may have heard about my film. My first film went to Netflix. It was called Queen Mimi, about
Queen Mimi, I love it.
About a homeless lady in her 80s. And now I teamed up with Gadi to tell his story because ever since October 7th, I feel like every Jew needs to step up and do their work and spread the word. So
now explain to my audience how you met the rabbi.
He was introduced to me through my manager, and when he told me about the story, I said, I'm definitely in. This is something that I would love to be part of because I feel like Gadi is like in the eye of the storm. He's went to Columbia University and he was there around the last year's demonstration and comments and all of that. So he's the right person to tell a side of the story that probably not a lot of people heard. The Sephardic Jews, the community of Sephardic Jews.
They really are suffering in Israel, aren't they? It's
Yes.
really quite awful.
As we speak, actually, I think the north is being bombarded now out of Lebanon, unfortunately. So my heart is with my family and my friends, and it's been very, very challenging times for all of us. And sometimes even, I think, just as hard to be here in this, away from home because you feel like everything is kind of normal, but it's not. Do you know what I mean?
It seems normal, but it's not normal.
Exactly. So what is our part? What can we do to help? And so this is a project that I think
It's an ongoing project, Project Genesis. Do you know why they call it Project Genesis? Do you know the reason why they're calling it that?
I think you're gonna have to speak with Gadi about that.
I have to speak to Rabbi Gadi.
I imagine because we really need to go back to the beginning and understand where it all started, as opposed to come 3/4 of a way and figure these people are bad and those people aren't, or so.
They don't believe they're bad. They don't believe it.
Well,
They
maybe
think they're right.
maybe so, and maybe they do have 72 virgins waiting for them too, and that's maybe good for them, bad for them. I don't really know. Nonetheless, I'm worried about our kids here in America who are being brainwashed in universities
I
and
see that, and I pray every day. You know, I'm not Jewish, I'm Italian, but I support all my friends, and I'm totally against what they're doing to Israel. You're working on a new movie, am I right about that? Tell my audience about this new film that you're working on.
yes, the new film is. I have a thing with the elderly. I love old people. I think they have amazing stories to tell that are.
This is so wise.
Thank you. I just think it's an untapped market that no one. Unfortunately, people sometimes ignore older people, and that to me is not cool. I find the elderly fascinating. They have such amazing stories to tell. And so this latest film is about an 80, now 88-year-old Holocaust survivor who became a TikTok sensation. He went on TikTok 3 years ago. He went crazy viral, and he was very cute, and people loved him until October 7th. Literally the next day, people started calling him a baby killer. You are a genocide maniac, and they completely forgot all the love that they gave him the day before. So he had to actually quit the platform because he couldn't take the hate anymore. So I've been following him. I've been following him around for a few years, and he has an amazing story. He's a survivor. Really, the film is about hope. He still believes in coexistence, and he wants everyone to be happy in the land of Israel and Palestine. And he wrote a book that is called "Let's Make Things Better." And we can if we try. We just have to work really hard at it. This one is called Follow Me.
Follow me. It's not finished yet.
It's not finished yet. We're almost there. I'm going to Prague tomorrow to film him in the last scene. We went to Prague last year to see the house where he used to live, and now I don't know if you know, but Europe, a lot of the European countries put what's called a Stropelstein. It's like a metal like a plate that they put on the sidewalk where someone lived there during the war, and so they commemorate them, and they put the name and the date that they were perished, and so they do it for his father. He lost his father when he was 5 years old, so
Oh my God.
yeah. A lot of the film is about his relationship with his dad. Wow, we're getting a lot of light right now, a lot of sun. But yeah, I've been very passionate about his story. He's a remarkable person. His name is Gidon Lev. Yeah.
If you want to find out more information about the film, is there anywhere we can go to find out, or can we follow you on Instagram?
Please do. My handler, I guess, is my first name, last name, Yaniv.
Spell it, dog.
Yaniv, and my last name, Rokah, Rokah. So you can Google me and have fun with it.
Gorgeous. Let's do an air kiss. And we'll be back, darlings, with more interviews right here in Westhampton Beach for Project Genesis. Pink champagne kisses.
The States also about 25 years ago. And I remember that as a Jew, I was different than the American Jews. I was like, no, we're not the same. Israelis are different than the Jews in America. Little did I know. But I have a funny story because, you know those questionnaires when you fill out and you have to, what's your ethnicity? Are you white? Are you Caucasian? I could never, I did not know what to do with those. And I basically circled D, Asian, because Israel is in Asia, let's face it. And then I came to terms with my whiteness, and then I started I'm Caucasian, it's fine, I'm white. Came October 7th, and I realized that it really doesn't matter what you are, you're just a Jew.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane. Keep watching. More celebrity interviews coming up right here at cognacscornermagazine.com. Pink champagne kisses.
The issue is, in America right now, is that there's a set perception that Jews are white. And this really started a project that we are now filming in Israel in the Yemenite Heritage Center. It was important to show that more than half of the Jews who live in Israel now actually never left the Middle East.
מה נגיד לך, העלייה הייתה מאוד מאוד קשה. להורים שלי היו קשה יותר מאשר לנו, כי אנחנו היינו ילדים קטנים, ולא זכור לנו כל כך, כי העול נפל על ההורים. כמו שמספרים ההורים שלנו, שהם עברו את המדבר, מדבר, קוראים לו חדידה. מדבר, שם אין יהודים ואין ערבים. זה מדבר שאין בו. והיה נורא 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 קשה. לא היה מים. כל האנשים שקנו אותם ברפתות, באורבות, ישנו אנשים באורבות, מים לא היה, קנו מים רק לילדים, וההורים לקחו מים מהים והרתיחו אותו בתוך זה, ושמו תבלינים והרבו אותו, לא היה מים בחדידה.
מה אתה זוכר מתימן?
תימן, אני זוכר כמה דברים יפים, קודם כל הנוף.
שאנשים פשוט לא ידעו, קודם כל, שיהודים הם מהמזרח התיכון, ושהם עדיין מפה, ויש יהודים שאף פעם לא עזבו את המזרח התיכון. זה אחד. והדבר השני, שכשהייתה מלחמת העצמאות, אז היו ערבים שהיו צריכים, מה שנקרא, לעזוב את המקום, אבל היו גם כמעט מיליון יהודים שעזבו את הבתים שלהם במדינות ערב.
Just the ability to be a part of a project that shows a facet of Jewish history that's really overlooked and very important, I thought was wonderful. Even though we're not directly addressing anti-Semitism in the modern day, one thing that this whole process made me realize is the importance of Middle Eastern Jews historically and in the present. We should be taught more, we should learn more, and it's just wonderful to help produce something that shares a part of history that's so often forgotten or overlooked.
Tell my audience the name of the film. What's the name?
The name is We Are From Here, and the subtitle is The White Lie About Indigenous Jews.
Excellent. One more time, the website, Dom.
The website is project-genesis.org, and my Facebook is Gadi, Capella, Capella.
Gorgeous. Let's do an air kiss. And we'll be, yes, and thank you. And we'll be back, darlings, with more interviews right here in the Hamptons. Keep watching Cognac's Corner Magazine. Pink champagne kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One-of-a-kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines, drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.